gamers, how's it going? This is going to be your introduction to the new Blue-Eyes engine that's dropping or has already dropped in Master Duel. So this is the general package that you're going to be throwing into a lot of different decks that can use the Blue-Eyes engine. So we're just going to start by introducing you to just the overall package, since there's just so many different builds that you can make with this Blue-Eyes stuff. So generally speaking, you'll be running 2 Blue-Eyes. Now, some people think that's a sin, and they're like, no, you got to run 3. And look, if you want to run 3, but you don't need 3. You can run 2. You're good with 2. 2 is good. 2 is good. You're running 3 of the brand new Maiden of White, 3 copies of Sage. I'm putting 3 Effect Veiler in the engine just because this card kind of just helps your deck in general. You can search it within the engine because your engine searches level 1 light tuners, and you can also use it within your engine because your Link 1, this guy right here, he fetches your field spell, and this field spell gives you a second normal summon of a level 1 light tuner. So there are scenarios where you actually will want to summon the Veiler from your hand with your second normal, just so you can land a Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon with like a copy of Blue-Eyes plus a Veiler. So I genuinely think, since it's searchable and can be used within the engine, I think 3 Veiler is just part of the engine. Honestly, I think it's just too good within the deck not to run. Then other things you have Prayers. This is a new spell for Blue-Eyes. It discards a card and searches both a Blue-Eyes card as well as a level 1 light tuner, so usually either Sage or Effect Veiler. And the Maiden here is really useful because it sets your True Light from the deck. No, actually it places it face up, my bad. So you can just discard Maiden from your hand, place True Light from the deck face up, and then this can just set your Prayers with Eyes of Blue. So this card essentially sets up everything you need, and you can get to it really easily by just normal summoning the Sage, or vice versa. You can have her in hand, discard her, set up this stuff, go for the Prayers, search a Sage plus a Saga of the Blue-Eyed White Dragon. You have your Link 1, which searches your field spell, and also your Link 1 locks you into dragons, but only while it's on the field. So it's really easy to play around. Basically, you go Spirit with Eyes of Blue, get your field spell, activate your field spell. Field spell can then send your Blue-Eyes White Dragon to the grave, and then you can use the second effect of your Link 1, tribute itself, summon the Blue-Eyes from the grave, and you're good to go. You're no longer locked, and you can use your second normal summon and go into your extra deck. Whatever pleases you, whatever you want to do, it's all really, really good. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do before I even show you like different variants of this deck is I'm just going to show you this engine in action, just to give you a taste of how it works and how you can throw it into different decks. So to introduce you to it, we're just going to start with a Maiden of White 1-card combo. All right, so we're going to be doing a hand test here. I said 1-card combo, but it's really more so like a 1.5 card combo, just because you do need to do a discard during the combo. So here I filled my hand with completely useless monsters you're not going to be running in this deck, just to show you that it's really just a Maiden of White combo with a random card in hand. So we go Maiden of White here, discard it, and you get to place your True Light face up. And then True Light is pretty crazy. It can just set the Prayers with Eyes of Blue from your deck. This is where you discard a card. You have to go Prayers with Eyes of Blue here. We'll discard Lajin. We'll keep the 3 Ojama Brothers in hand. And we can add both a Blue-Eyes spell or trap and a level 1 light tuner monster to our hand. So most of the time, you'll be adding Saga of the Blue-Eyed Dragon. This card just summons a Blue-Eyes monster, well, basically a Blue-Eyes from your deck, but this is pretty important, you get locked into only summoning dragons from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So depending on the variant of this deck you're playing, you want to be very careful about maybe activating this later into your turn. If you know, it's really going to depend on if you're mostly summoning dragons anyway, or if your deck wants to summon other things, you're definitely going to want to hold on to this card until later. You also have the option of grabbing the Majesty with Dragons of White, which is basically just a pop 2 trap card. It's really good. I mean, it's a solid trap. It's really going to be up to you if you want to run it. This is not a must run in the kit. That's why I didn't really talk about it at the start, but I did want to mention it because some people will run it and it's definitely not bad. But for the most part, you'll probably mostly be getting Saga with this card and Sage with Eyes of Blue most of the time. So we grab a Sage and we've got our spell, right? So at this point, you want to normal summon your Sage, and on normal summon, Sage can search a level 1 light tuner. So depending on your hand, oftentimes you'll actually just grab a Veiler with this. Honestly, it doesn't matter that much in this scenario because we're doing the 1-card combo. we'll end up having to summon this Veiler anyway with our second normal summon to be able to make our 2 level 9 synchros. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to add Maiden of White here, and you know, you can pretend that one of these Ojamas would have been a Veiler in the actual deck, right? So at this point, we can go ahead and make our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. So summon Spirit, and Spirit is going to fetch our field spell. So we can grab our Mausoleum of White, activate Mausoleum of White. Now keep in mind, this card says you cannot special summon except dragon monsters. So unfortunately, you kind of just want to go Mausoleum of White, target the Spirit, send the Blue Eyes White Dragon to the grave, and then just use its effect, you know, tribute it. You get to summon Blue Eyes from the graveyard here. And when you summon a Blue Eyes, be it from the deck, the graveyard, the hand, whatever, Maiden of White triggers in the graveyard. This card is basically kind of like low. Honestly, it's kind of like Blue Eyes low. So yeah, on a summon of a Blue Eyes, it'll summon itself from the grave. And here you go. You have a level 8 plus a level 1 tuner. What you can do at this point, you can go for Prayers with Eyes of Blue, banish it from your graveyard. And its second effect will allow you to equip the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to your Blue Eyes. Is this the best thing ever? No. But in the graveyard, it's Blue Eyes targeting protection. It's only on Blue Eyes monsters, so really not the best targeting protection ever. But, you know, it's free, so you might as well do it. So you can go for Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon using these two. Summon out the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. And very simply, we're just going to lock ourselves into dragons here. We can go Saga of the Blue Eyes and summon out a Blue Eyes from the deck. Or you could summon the one from the grave if you want, but you probably should summon the one from the deck just so you don't draw it later. So, you know, and we use our second normal summon, you know, summon the level 1 tuner we just searched, and make a Blue Eye Spirit Dragon again. And here's the cool stuff. Now we do the cool stuff. You can go Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, and honestly, you could just do both of them if you want. You know, you just do both of them. And basically, you're going to summon out the level 12 Blue Eyes Omni Negate monster. And with the other one, you can summon the Crimson Dragon. So then Crimson Dragon can target the Blue Eyes Spirit Ultimate, shuffle itself back, and summon the Saphir. Now, this is really, really good because the way that Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon works is that whatever it summons from your extra deck, like with its quick effect, will get destroyed in the end phase. But Saphir protects every single card on the field once per turn. So off of this like 1.5 card combo, you basically get to set up a Saphir and an Omni Negate on the field, and you protect it from its own destruction on the end phase. Is this like always what you're going to want to do with this engine? No, but I figured this would be the most basic, like, you know, generic line that I could show you that you can kind of apply to most builds that will be running this deck. Of course, some people prefer just holding on to their Spirit Dragons for the opponent's turn. That's a totally valid way to play it too, honestly, because this card does stop, like, neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. And once per turn, when an effect of a card in the grave is activated, you have a quick effect negate on the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. So there's definitely value to not doing this and just holding on to them and then using them on opponent's turn to do your summoning. So that's going to be up to you and through your testing and what you get used to. But if you just wanted a quick introduction to how the engine works in general, this should give you all the basics you need. One thing I wasn't running in this package, which I guess I'll mention here, Synchro Rumble can be searched by Crimson Dragon. And it's not a necessary part of the package. You know, this one and the Majesty, I would say, are both kind of unnecessary parts of the package. And obviously, these cards don't belong here. Yeah, so Synchro Rumble is a very, very good card in this deck. Of course, just getting to summon a tuner again from your grave is really good. For example, earlier in the combo I showed you, if I was running Synchro Rumble, I could have just searched a Veiler instead of searching the Maiden of White, because I would not have had to normal summon a second time. I could have held on to that Veiler in hand, use my Synchro Rumble to bring back either Sage or my Maiden of White once I made my first Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Then I could have went Saga, made my second Spirit, and so I would have had like an extra interruption. So I think you get really good value off of Synchro Rumble, and I recommend running it. I think it's really, really good within this engine. You don't have to. So yeah, that's about it for the basic package. Now, I'm just going to show you some popular builds that you might see for this deck. So I already showed a replay for this one in my last video where I was just kind of showcasing every new thing. So yeah, this is Buster Blader. It's pretty toxic. Basically, the Buster Whelps are all level 1 light tuners, which means they're searchable within the engine with prayers, and you can use your second normal summon to summon the Buster Whelp you searched. So in my last video, I showed you that you can start with Buster Whelp, but you don't have to. The combo I just did, where you start with Maiden, you definitely could just, search the Buster Whelp and the Saga with Eyes of Blue, and just, normal summon Buster Whelp with your second normal summon, grab the prologue of the Destruction Swordsman, and just do the whole, disgusting Buster Dragon thing. So yeah, if you guys want to see the Buster Blader combo, just check my last video. But it's pretty straightforward, and this is definitely going to be a pretty popular build for the deck. There's also Blue-Eyes Invoked. I think this one is not going to be very popular. I actually, from my testing, I think it's really underpowered, but I might be wrong. Once I see it in Master Duel, maybe I'll be like, okay, no, actually I see the vision. It's like low risk, low reward, basically, with an engine like this one. And I already showed you guys also this one here, my build, Blue-Eyes Centurion. This is definitely the one that I'm going to be trying, and I'm very excited for this one. Now, in my last video, I showed you the combo, like the full combo starting from stand-up Centurion, but using the Blue-Eyes cards, you absolutely can just do the opposite too. You can start with the Blue-Eyes stuff and shift into the Centurion side, and I did not show that in the video. So for this video, I guess if you were interested in playing the Centurion version of this deck, I'll just quickly show you how you can go from Blue-Eyes combo into Centurion combo, and it's pretty straightforward. Basically, if you want the quick version, you summon Ancient Fairy Dragon with your Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon. That's like the quick version, but I'll just show it. This is a replay where we're going to be starting off again with just Maiden of White and basically discards, right? So here we go. We're going to start off, activate Maiden of White in the hand. And I'm going to fast forward here a little bit because it's the same start. You get the prayers, discard Fulos, grab the Saga, grab the Sage. You get to normal summon Sage, search Veiler. Then you get to, go into your Link 1, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, grab the field spell, Mausoleum of White, activate, send the Blue-Eyes to the grave, tribute the Link, summon the Blue-Eyes, and you get the graveyard effect of Maiden to special summon herself, which point you use these two to go into your Link, your Synchro, I mean. And this is where it changes. Basically, you make Ancient Fairy Dragon at this point. So, Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, summon the Ancient Fairy Dragon, and you get to just pop your field spell, go grab, the Centurion field spell, discard, okay. Here, I activate Saga early, and I told you earlier, this card locks you into only special summoning dragons from the extra deck. And the reason I'm doing this early is just to show you that the entire combo line for Blue-Eyes Centurion works under this lock. The reason for that basically being that Auxilla, the most important Centurion synchro for this deck, is a dragon. So yeah, the whole line works even if we're locked from Saga. So anyway, we go for stand-up Centurion, discard a card. We're going to discard the Veiler we searched just to make the combo look like a 1.5 card combo here. We go for Trudea put in the back row, get the Primera in the back row, summon the Primera, then we can go for Primera, search the flash spell, Wake Up Centurion. We can activate the Wake Up, get our level 8 token. At this point, we can use our field spell. We're just going to synchro into Auxilla. We make Auxilla. Auxilla is going to search a Gargoyle from the deck. I really like Gargoyle in this deck because it is a level 8 dragon monster. It has a little bit of synergy within Blue-Eyes, and it allows you to make a pretty strong and pretty new XYZ monster. So I figured we might as well, get an extra XCs in there. So we're going to go for Wake Up Centurion in the grave, dump the Phalanx. Then you want to link away Ancient Fairy Dragon as well as your Auxilla to make the Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal, super good in this deck, able to summon a Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon from the deck, which is really, really good because it adds a ton of protection to your field. You'll see. The amount of protection you can get in this deck is pretty crazy. But here we send to the grave the Trudea, we summon Gargoyle, and normally I would make a Hope Harbinger here, but I want to play with our new toys. We're getting Dragluxion in the new update, and this card, I want to show what it can do in Blue-Eyes. So this is a little bit of extra sealing. I don't know if I'll actually run this, but it feels pretty good to do. So you can go Dragluxion, search the Tachyon Transmigration. This is a counter trap that negates an entire chain and shuffles back all the cards that it negates within that chain back into the deck or extra deck. And yeah, this card is pretty broken. The worst part is you can actually activate it from the hand if you control a Tachyon, right? So basically with the Dragluxion, you can tag out into the Tachyon, and I'm also going to activate the Phalanx Engrave to bring back my Auxilla here. So bring back the Auxilla to the field first. Bring back the Auxilla. Okay, thank you. So we get Auxilla on the field, and then Dragluxion is going to go into the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. So while we control this card, you can activate Transmigration from the hand on opponent's turn. This becomes the strongest hand trap in the entire game. It's just absurd. Honestly, it's super broken, and that's why I wanted to put this instead of the Hope Harbinger. I just find it cooler, and yeah, you know, it adds a break to the deck. Will I keep it? I don't know. I'll probably start with it, and if I get too upset at drawing it too often, because you know how Master Duel is with one-ups, then I might remove it. But I figured for the purposes of this little showcase, might as well show the new stuff, right? So we've got our Transmigration set up with the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. We got back our Auxilla. Auxilla can put the Primera in the back row during the end phase. And also, during opponent's turn, I can use True Light to summon Blue-Eyes White Dragon from my grave, which is a level 8. So you have a level 8 plus Primera to make a level 12 Synchro on opponent's turn. You have the Hieratic Seal, which will bounce, and it can summon a Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon. Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon protects all other cards than itself from destruction while it's on the field. And also my Auxilla protects my face-up spells and traps, so it actually protects my True Light, which if this card is destroyed, it destroys all my monsters. So the protection that Auxilla provides is also super important. So yeah, for a 1.5 card combo, it might not seem like much right now, but this is actually pretty insane. And keep in mind, if you had extra cards in hand like a Sage to get some extra gas, you could go way further. You could also have like a non-negate on top of this, like with a Blazer or something. You know, opponent's turn, I just want to show some of our interactions here. So you can go True Light, summon out the Blue Eyes from the grave, then you go Primera. Maiden of White can come back in defense position, so if they swing into the Maiden, you'll get to summon a Blue Eyes if that comes up. Probably won't, but you know, it's free. So summon the Primera, summon the Maiden of White from the grave in defense position, Primera, search, and then you can chain block it with the stand-up Centurion. And you know, we're gonna synchro away into our Crimson Dragon. So we get the search of Primera. Crimson Dragon's gonna search the Synchro Rumble. Then you get the effect of Crimson Dragon, target the Auxilla, summon the Blazer. You can go for, you know, your bounce. I'm bouncing back my own field spell here, summon out the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Out here, I'm just showing all our different interactions that I can show off. So, you know, put the Primera back in the back row, and now it's our turn. You know, you can synchro into a Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, summon our big boy. Now, this guy, if we didn't get lethal this turn, which is very unlikely, would get destroyed in end phase, but who cares? Summon the Primera, True Light, summon out the Blue Eyes from the grave. That's a level 8 and a level 4 tuner, so we can use these two and synchro into Crimson Dragon again. Crimson Dragon, target our 12, summon Saphir so that all our cards are protected, so that, you know, my big dude wouldn't get destroyed in the end phase. And because I destroyed a monster by battle, you get to bring back the Jet Dragon from the grave, which if they had another monster would be a bounce when you swing. Like, dude, this is crazy. I really think this deck is going to be crazy. I think it's even kind of slept on. Like, people were not as impressed as I thought they should be when I was showing it off in the last video. So definitely something to look out for. I hope this video was useful for introducing you a little bit to Blue Eyes as an engine. And, you know, like the Centurion one is the one I'm going to be really rocking with. But I heard that there's a pretty good White Forest build as well. So I might make a deck profile on that at some point if I see it and I find it actually pretty decent. But to me, it just feels like people just put White Forest in anything that has synchros. So I'm not 100% on that, but honestly, it could be crazy, and I'll definitely need to try it out. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video. You know, tune in if you're watching this the day that it came out. That means that later I'll be doing a stream when the new pack comes out. It's gonna be at 2 a.m. on my birthday for me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open this pack on my birthday, so hopefully I get some birthday luck on the polls, and I really can't wait to try this Blue Eye stuff. All right, see you guys in the next one.